Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Spaghetti Tornado 99. Thanks for the suggestion, Spaghetti. You asked, how do some birds mimic human speech? If you've ever heard a parrot drop a perfect hello, or even worse, repeat something you really wish it hadn't, you've probably wondered, how do they do that? Why can some birds copy human speech almost perfectly, while your dog just tilts his head when you ask him a question? And, most importantly, do parrots secretly judge us? Let's find out, right here on Explaining Everything. Alright, first mind-blowing fact. Birds do not have vocal cords. That's right, instead of using a larynx like us, they have a special structure called the syrinx, which sounds like a wizard spell, but I promise it's real. Located at the base of a bird's trachea, the syrinx is basically a built-in synthesizer that lets them produce an insane variety of sounds. Humans make sound by vibrating vocal cords, but birds control airflow in the syrinx with tiny muscles, shaping sound waves into whistles, clicks, and, if they're especially talented, full-blown conversations. Imagine if you could speak without vocal cords just by flexing your throat muscles like a pro ventriloquist. That's what's happening inside these birds. Parrots are the rock stars of speech mimicry, and they've got some serious brain power backing it up. Their brains have an extra thick section called the song system, which helps them learn and reproduce sounds with shocking accuracy. Basically, parrots are walking, squawking tape recorders. But brain power isn't the only reason. Parrots are highly social animals. In the wild, they rely on vocalizations to communicate with their flocks. When they live with humans, they treat us as their weird, featherless family and try to fit in by copying our sounds. If you've ever had a parrot, you know they don't just mimic words. They copy voices down to the tone and rhythm. That's how people end up with parrots who sound exactly like their grumpy uncles. Some parrots even use words in the right context. There are cases of parrots learning to say bye-bye when people leave or asking for food when they're hungry, which is honestly more advanced than some toddlers. Parrots might steal the spotlight, but they're not the only birds capable of speech. Let's meet some other feathery chatterboxes. First, minor birds, masters of mimicry with an uncanny ability to copy not just words, but entire accents. If you've ever wanted a British-speaking bird, this is your guy. Second, crows and ravens. These guys are already among the smartest animals on Earth, and yes, some of them can mimic speech. Imagine walking outside and hearing a raven casually say, "Hey, what's up?" before flying off. Pure nightmare fuel. Third, lyrebirds. Not only can they copy human speech, but they also mimic anything: chainsaws, car alarms, even camera shutters. If the robot uprising ever happens, lyrebirds will be out here blending right in. The big question. Do talking birds actually know what they're saying? The answer is sometimes. Some parrots, like the famous African grey Alex, showed signs of real understanding. Alex could count, identify colors, and even express frustration when he was over a training session. He was basically the first recorded case of a parrot saying, "I'm done with this nonsense." Other birds, however, just copy sounds without understanding them. They learn which words get reactions from humans. And of course, that's why so many parrots end up swearing. Because the first time they blurt out a curse word, their owners lose their minds. And the parrot thinks, "Oh, that got attention? Cool. I'm saying it forever now." Your dog hears you talk all day, but the only response you ever get is an adorable head tilt. Why is that? Speech mimicry is actually super rare in the animal kingdom. It requires a unique combination of vocal flexibility, advanced learning ability, and social bonding. Even among birds, only a few species can do it. But there are some non-bird exceptions. Dolphins can imitate human-like whistles. Elephants have been recorded mimicking certain words, though they sound like they're speaking through a tuba. A seal named Hoover once learned to say, "Hey, get outta here," in a thick Boston accent. Hoover was basically the Mark Wahlberg of the animal world. If you own a talking bird, you've probably experienced the unsettling moment when it picks up a phrase you definitely didn't teach it. Are parrots secretly listening in on our conversations, waiting to expose us? Probably. Parrots have been caught repeating phrases like, "Where's my credit card?" and "I told you not to do that," at exactly the wrong moments. One parrot in the UK even got adopted, only for his new owner to discover he wouldn't stop shouting "fire" in the middle of the night. Turns out he lived in a fire station before that. And yes, there have been cases of parrots exposing cheaters by repeating suspicious phone conversations. So, if you've got secrets, maybe don't tell them around your bird. So, to wrap it up, birds like parrots, miners, and ravens can mimic human speech thanks to their specialized vocal anatomy, big brains, and social nature. Some of them even understand what they're saying, which is both cool and mildly terrifying. And if your bird suddenly starts saying things you don't remember teaching it, just know it's been listening. If you enjoyed this video and are now fascinated and also a little bit creeped out by this very vocal birds, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.